Have you been feeling a little off kilter lately? Do you just need to let some pent-up emotion out, but you don't want to have to think too much about it? Or you don't know where to start with your blank pages? In this video, I will be showing you 3 activities that will hopefully help with these dilemmas. My name is Natalie McLeod and I'm a counsellor, and I'm also certified in a new creative journal, an approach created by Anne-Marie Jobin, an art therapist from Quebec. Welcome, and let's now begin. I always start my journaling by grounding myself, creating an inviting space and taking some deep breaths. The first step is to vent, to express without overthinking. You choose what type of medium you want to use and colours you don't like. We're using the illegible writing technique, making lines and scribbles. And here I'm using some oil pastels to help express harder emotions. Once the page is ready, I invite you to lightly cover it with gesso, which is a primer, or you can use white acrylic paint. The idea is that we don't ignore our emotions. We are just transforming the page, adding some light to dark, so cover the whole page with gesso. Take a separate piece of paper. It has to be quite thick in case you use paint. Mixed media or watercolor paper can do the trick. I'm choosing to use these acrylic markers I absolutely love, and I'll tell you why later. I am now drawing lines with the markers quite slowly, taking my time. This is a mindfulness practice to reduce our cortisol levels and increase our dopamine levels. Dopamine is a hormone and neurotransmitter which boosts our feelings of pleasure, reward, and motivation. I'm changing color pens to another color that I like. And I love these markers because they are so smooth on paper and the gliding effect is very satisfying. You can fill in the page with as many colors as you wish, always taking time. To make it more enjoyable for you, you may want to listen to your favorite playlist or a motivational podcast, or simply enjoy the silent moment. And here we have our page all colored in. I spent some time on my most favorite colors and less time on others. The next step is to choose a symbol. So here I have an example of a few symbols you can choose from. All these can be found online. I am then going to decorate my colored page with glitter acrylic pens. You can, of course, choose your own mediums for this. Then we are going to draw symbols all over the page which speak to us the most, and it's about taking your time. The act of repetition helps our brain and nervous system come into balance. So I invite you to pick symbols which are easy to draw. Once you have finished, you may add some metallic sheen onto the page. Gold symbolizes value, so we are valuing our time and ourselves here. The next step is to cut some shapes out of this color paper. I wanted to use some craft paper punches for this. I felt drawn to the balloons, which are a good symbol to help let go of heavy thoughts. There are alternatives to craft paper punches. Cutting circle shapes with scissors is an option if you also want balloons. And here is a homemade stencil. You may want to use all the balloons or just a few. If you have some leftover card, you can also make a bookmarker. For this, I'm using a round corner punch to round off the corners. Nothing goes to waste. There is always something we can do with all the leftover bits of cards. You may want to add a quote on your bookmarker, which could be a lovely reminder of your process. I would do this at the end of the activity. So now I'm placing my balloons on the white gessoed page. Then I felt led to roughly draw a character letting go of these balloons. Suddenly I noticed the one balloon with a heart on it. These are the moments of serendipity we can experience in a journal. So I wanted to place it near my little companion, which is a cat. He was going to hold this special balloon as though he was a friend there to offer some support. This created feelings of warmth. He was going to be an ally, reminding me of being good to myself during the challenging moment of letting go. If you struggle with drawing, you can find numerous examples of stick people online like these. The journal is accessible to everyone. You don't need to be good at drawing to enjoy its benefits. It offers so many different options. It is about being free to explore, to try things out. You will gradually build confidence and use the techniques you prefer. Suddenly, a message came to my mind. This little cat had something to tell me. The endless rumination in my mind were replaced by a message of encouragement. This was a powerful reminder that self-care is important, so I decided to write an affirmation around my balloon, starting with the word I. I will show you what you can do with the leftover bits of cards. I had quite a few left that I hadn't used, so I tend to keep them in a little box for future use. The next step is to choose colours you don't like and repeat the same process as in the first activity, expressing what is happening. You can use a technique of illegible writing when no one can read what you have written. Once you feel done, you make a small hole in the paper. I'm using the sharp tip of a pencil, and you grab your scissors, watch your fingers, and we're going to cut out a door on our scribbly paper. Once the door is cut, I invite you to open it and see what happens when you leave it opened. You are left with a white space. How does it feel to you? What new thoughts are you getting? In this white space, you can do many things, like either choosing a word from a magazine. Then, if you like, you can end the activity here with the simple word. For a longer version of this activity, you can draw something hopeful in this space. So here I'm using some acrylic marker pens in a color that makes me feel calm. Choose a medium or mediums you absolutely love, because this will change your inner chemistry. Here I feel the need to draw water. Using these pens are so satisfying, and it made it fun to choose various types of blues. I wanted to add light to my little square, so drawing a big yellow sun came to mind. This is a calming exercise as you are doing repetitive movements and using colors you love, which are soothing to the nervous system. Adding rays to the sun in different yellows made the page suddenly come alive. There is something powerful about a visual as you bypass the logical mind, which takes you to a more peaceful place because you are not overthinking anymore. So here we are left with a small image with a strong message. Again, you can add words from a magazine, which could be an answer to a question you had, it could be a message, or you could journal around your image, or even finish off decorating your page. It is what feels best to you. The journal always has surprises for us, and here the door was not fully closed. The contrast of dark and light was an evident message that there is hope. In this third activity, we're going to create a background using watercolor paint. Watercolor paint is translucent, but you can use any other mediums that is quite light. You can make doodles on the page. Here are some examples from the internet called Zentangles. However, I have chosen one of my favorite symbols to draw, which is a leaf. It is about covering the whole page with your symbol or symbols or favorite doodles. Drawing repeated patterns offer many benefits, including stress reduction, enhanced focus, and emotional expression. It also improves creativity. The next step is to colour in if you feel led to do so. You can use a colouring pencil and do some shading using 2 colours, for example. Or you can use water-soluble pencils, which can be relaxing and has magical effect of changing texture. Once you have completed your colouring, you can journal new thoughts on your background. Starter sentences are in the description box below, or you can simply write affirmations or quotes. So here I chose leaves because they are a symbol of growth or letting go. So I would have thought of things I no longer need to hold on to, and also think of new understandings. A faster alternative would be to just add a word from a magazine as a message for the day. The journal can be interactive, so often I will draw a stick person on a bit of paper that represents me, and I will go for a walk into my journal to review pages I have made, or simply to place myself in a safe space when I need to feel a bit calmer. This is ideal when you don't have time to journal, as it is not only a good way to go over your journal processes, but it also acts as a reminder of the wisdom you will have uncovered during the course of the weeks. Because yes, my friends, you are all wise beings, and you have just forgotten. So I hope this video will not only have inspired you, but also brought you a little peace of mind. If you would like to go deeper into the process, you can contact me and my details are in the description box below. Until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.